All right, everybody, how's it going? This is Augustino. I'm here with Steven, and you're listening to The Touchdown. What we're going to get into this week is everyone in New York, the moment we've all been waiting for. The Daniel Jones era has begun. Daniel Jones was given his first start against the Bucs this week, and he absolutely killed it. And by the grace of God, Bucs missed a field goal that should have been a gimme, and he won, making him undefeated as the New York Giants quarterback. But in reality, what did you think about the game?
Well, in reality, the Giants' defense, once again, was awful in the first half. Specifically, Janoris Jenkins, because the rest of the secondary was pretty good. DeAndre Belker held his own pretty much. Peppers was pretty good in the secondary, and our defensive line was getting pressure. But Janoris Jenkins gave up 15 receptions for almost, I think it was over 150 yards to Mike Evans and 3 touchdowns. That's unacceptable. It can't happen. And he set up the almost game-winning field goal for Tampa Bay. They only had like a minute and 5 seconds left to score that field goal. So overall, it was not a good performance for Janoris Jenkins, but Daniel Jones, what can you say? 350-something yards, 2 passing touchdowns, 2 rushing touchdowns. We've been waiting for it all this time, and it's finally come, and he looked absolutely spectacular.
No, I have to agree 100%. I mean, honestly, it's one of those things where you just got to be a Giants fan. You got to be happy. It's like, oh, yeah, he had a couple fumbles, but still he won the game. One of those fumbles was a strip sack as he was throwing the ball. Any quarterback, once you're up here, there's no ball security. But he's a rookie. He'll learn, I think he's such a great New York Giants quarterback mold where it really felt like Eli Manning in, like, the press game, like the post-press. And he's like, yeah, we won the game. It was a very well-mannered, humble guy, quiet guy. But, dude, he put the ball where it needed to be. He didn't make huge mistakes. He didn't force any throws. He was very aware of what was going on in the game. And I think you have to give Pat Shurmur a lot of credit because the offense came out. Saquon Barkley was getting swallowed up, and then he got hurt. He's out for about a month now, right? And he was able to keep the defense on their toes and keep Daniel Jones producing and moving the chains. And for the past 2 weeks, we've watched them go first drive score, and then just disappear. And I think that a lot of credit has to go to Pat Shurmur as well because he was able to draw up a lot. And I think Evan Ingram is the unsung hero. He stepped up like no other. Sterling Shepard stepped up like no other. And I think it was a real team effort. And I think that was half of the battle.
Right. This might be an unpopular opinion, but I have to even say I think Eli deserves some credit for the way he handled his benching. I thought he handled that spectacularly. He gave Daniel Jones a lot of confidence. He was fist-pumping him every time he scored a touchdown. He looked really happy about everything, and I thought that was a great teammate, what Eli did.
Oh, yeah, I agree 100%. I think there really isn't another quarterback in the league that is a 15, 16-year starter with 2 Super Bowl MVPs under the belt for that team that would handle their retirement or their benching that well without retiring. And he said he's not going to waive the no-trade clause. Like, I genuinely think this is why they held on to Eli Manning, because there is no better way to handle it than he is. And I think it goes to show, like, why they appreciate him so much past the Super Bowls, because he's a professional. You don't see that. Like, you see it a lot now, but, like, you see Antonio Brown now making tweets about everybody when he gets kicked off for 15 different sexual harassment things and this and that. And he's, like, firing off tweets against Robert Kraft now, like something about strokes. And I'm like, oh, geez, this guy's lost his mind. But, I don't know. I mean, I'm excited. I'm excited because I think it gives you hope. And maybe the defense isn't great for the rest of the year, and we're a 500 team or even less. But Daniel Jones shows hope and hope and hope. We build our defense a little bit, and I think it really makes everybody happy about that 6 overall pick that everyone was just ripping up a few months ago.
I gotta say, I was like, just a week ago, I was predicting the Giants to go 1-15 or 2-14, and now after this game, I think our defense looked a lot better besides Janoris Jenkins. So if we could figure out a way to maybe double team on Janoris Jenkins' guy, and then our defense could hold them like 20 points, 28 points, something like that, I think we could win, 7 or 8 games, and that would be a good season for us.
No, I agree. I think the biggest thing that I saw this game, too, that I was super surprised about was how Nate Solder was just getting beat up by Shaq Barrett, who had 4 sacks on the game. and never once did they have like Wayne Gallman go to chip block, or did they have the line up a tight end as like a double team protector? Because we have Rhett Ellison, who's an okay average tight end, but he's an above average blocker, and that's why we have him. I'm like, why don't you just put him in? Double team, because we were using Ingram like no other.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, like, we have a blocking tight end for a reason, and a very good one at that. And I didn't understand why Pat Shurmur didn't say, oh, I'm going to help. Because Shaq Barrett was destroying Nate Solder, and that's not an understatement.
Right. Well, not everybody's going to be Shaq Barrett. It's who we play. So
Yeah.
I have faith that Solder's going to pick up his play, especially against next week against Washington. I don't think they have a great pass rusher like Shaq Barrett. So I think he'll be fine on that blind side.
Yeah. They have, what's his name? Ryan Kerrigan.
Ryan Kerrigan. Does he come from the blind side, though, or he comes from the other side?
I have no idea.
I think he comes from the other side.
Yeah, so then, I mean, we have him, and then they have him, and they have Matt Ioannidis, and that's about it. They have Duron Payne, but he's a second year, but he's more of like a Dexter Lawrence type, where he's a big body pusher, and I think our guards are really killing it and just picking up, because you didn't hear about Ndamukong Suh much yesterday, right? And he's a premier interior rusher.
Listen, Will Hernandez, this is his second year now. He's really picked it up from what he did from his rookie year, and I think he's going to be a great guard on the inside.
No, I agree. I mean, we're running out of time, but I think the one thing to end on another positive note, as New York sports fans, dude, we clinched it. The Yanks are going to the playoffs, and I think their future looks bright.
I think so, too. I'm just worried about the Houston Astros. They look strong as well, so we'll see what happens.
But dude, Stan came out and was like, oh, you missed me, didn't you? Boom, 400-foot homer.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Severino comes out, pitches 4, like, hitless innings, right? It's just like, I'm like, this is what we've been waiting for, right? I think if Stanton stays healthy, I think if Sanchez stays healthy, I think if Judge stays where he is and on the slump thing, I think we have the batters to go up against Houston.
Right.
But
do you think the Herman loss is going to be a big loss for the Yankees at the end of the day?
Not as big as we thought it would have been a while ago. I think if this season showed anything, when you think you lost a guy, we have some kid that they're going to call off the street tomorrow that's going to come in, and they're like, oh, this kid could have been an all-star. It's like the Yankee farm system. No, but I think all in all, I think it won't be as big as an impact as it should, but I think it's going to be a great playoff series, and I'm just happy for the Yanks to clinch it and to be where they are again.
Right, and we're also assuming that the Astros are going to beat the Athletics or whoever comes out of that wild card, because I heard that the Athletics have a good chance to beat the Houston Astros. They played against them very well in the regular season.
Yeah, but I mean, I think the Astros' strong suit really is the opposite of the Yankees, where they just have this ungodly pitching core, where they pretty much have 2 Cy Young finalists with Verlander and Greinke. But I don't know. I think look, we didn't do too bad against the Astros a couple years back when they had Verlander, and you know, Verlander was just as good then, if not better, because he was younger.
Right.
So, look, it's the Yankees. We're a team of miracles, and we'll see. But I think New York sports fans should be excited outside of the Knicks coming up this season.
Or the Jets, because the Jets are...
Oh, yeah, well, but we're Giants fans. You know, nobody, we don't like the Jets anyway. They're like, it's like they're the other Patriots. It's like, screw the Jets. You know, their quarterback has mono. It's like he didn't have fun in middle school or high school. It's like, come on, you're the stud quarterback in mono. No. But, and also all their defense is hurt. Dude, they got lit up by the Pats this week, and Daniel Jones came in, and it's the Danny Dimes era. I think it's, you know, also, as Josh Allen let everyone know, the Buffalo Bills are the only true New York sports team.
Oh, yeah.
And they're 3-0, so.
Yeah, you can't argue with that at the moment.
So, yeah. All right. Well, tune in next week for another episode of Touchdown. I'm Augustino.
I'm Steve.
And thanks for listening.